Yes, we are ready. What's happening here? I'm having a bit of technical due to wait. I'm not sure what's happening, Ramona. It's not live. Okay. Greetings, greetings. Good morning. Good morning. So, good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Technology has a mind of its own. So, we will keep going until we get things rolling. Until we get things rolling. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greetings. Welcome, TikTok. Welcome, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Linktree, YouTube. Everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome to this morning's show. I am your host, Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a coach educator, speaker, and I'm also an authentic broadcaster. Hey Marva, how are you? It's great to see everyone on this morning. I'm super excited about this particular show because we are going to be starting something new. All right. So, you heard me mention that I'm a coach educator, and I want to explain to you what that is about. I provide information and education to help you understand about the importance of tapping into your soul purpose. You know, last night I was thumbing through some videos on TikTok. Was it TikTok or YouTube? Somewhere. And one came right up to my attention. And you know how we have been taught that when our mother conceived, it was the fastest sperm that got to the egg first. That's what we always hear. Well, I was listening to this person, and he said, over our lifetime, we were taught that is the fastest sperm. And of course, my antennas went up because you all know that I am an advocate advocate for sole purpose. And he said, no, that is not true because scientists has proved that the egg sent out a signal and invited a specific sperm to come. And he said, now you see that each and every one of us, we were selected, we were chosen. And let me tell you something, that's the best thing I could have ever heard, because I know that each and every one of us, we are all created for a purpose. And he said, if you are living and you are thinking that you are not special, this is enough to let you know that you were not just brought here, you were chosen. And I wanted to include that statement on this episode today. So if you're thinking that you just show up here, no. And that's why it is so important to know that no matter what your life story is, no matter what your struggles and challenges is, we are all special and we were all chosen and selected for what we are supposed to be doing. So I mentioned that I'm doing something new this morning. We are going to be teaching, but somebody on TikTok, because I announced it on TikTok first. Somebody on TikTok will have an opportunity to ask me a question, and you will be able to come live and I will give you one answer to that question. You want us to delve deeper into your question? You will have an opportunity to reach out to me via phone, book an appointment, and we can delve deeper into your question for you to get more in-depth answer to your question. So it doesn't matter what the problem is. You're only getting one answer today. So think about what your question is, and my moderators and I, we will select the person whose question we will answer. Is that clear enough? Did you understand the offer? The next thing, please support me by purchasing my book, Conversation on Success. It's $19.95. $19.95, and shipping and handling is $6. You can pay via my Cash App, and I'll sign your book and I'll mail it out to you, because once you pay, hey, Reginald, how are you, King? Haven't seen you in many years. How you doing, Reginald Drummond? It's good to see you. So let me just type down here what we're talking about today. All right. The impact, the IMPAC impact of our words. Yeah, that's the easiest thing I could type. All right. Yeah, it's good to see you, King. Good to see you. Stay connected, man. Don't go away and miss out. We've been around for many years, Reginald. It's good to see you, man. Are you still in Atlanta? I think you lived in Atlanta. You still there? All right. So let's begin. This episode this morning, this episode this morning will focus on the power of our words. And I'm always so grateful for the universe every day. So this is kind of lengthy. Are you aware of the words you speak into your life? All right? In other words, the words you are speaking has impact on our lives. The words we speak help to mold who we are. The words we speak cast spells in our lives. And I am glad the Spirit have me using this word more often, because there are too many of you going around talking about spells. And you're attaching spells, the word spells, to witches and warlocks and all those things, and you not realizing that you are the biggest spell caster on yourself, on your own lives, because the words you are speaking are spells. Spells is negative. It's not anybody going to do voodoo with you like Ramona and we were talking yesterday, and she said, oh, people probably look in the ceiling and thought they were voodoo. And I said, oh, you don't know nothing about voodoo, so why are you talking about that? And I just thought it was funny. And as I say this now, I am saying that the words that we are using are casting spells on our own life. So I'm not saying don't cast your spells, but be selective, be cautious. Are you looking to cast positive spells or negative spells? The Bible says the power of life and death is in the... Okay, yeah, we know that. We know that. Yeah, you're still in Atlanta. Yeah, we got to talk. I forgot you were down in Atlanta when I was visiting Reginald. You got a lot to talk to me about. All right? Yes, so let's get into this episode. Let's get into this episode. Go ahead and share the live for me. The first thing I want to talk about, number one, is the power of our words. Our words has great power. Somebody says in the Bible, it says the power of life and death are in the tongue. Yes, but if you never have another Bible, if you never open your Bible, you got to be able to know that the words you are speaking every day you wake up have power. So, for those who don't have a Bible, never had one and probably will never own one, you got to know that the words you are speaking has control over your life. So those of you who get into agony with your children's father, with your ex-spouses, and the poor children pays the consequences of that. I know because I've heard it said, I've worked with many people over the years, and I've heard the kids being chastised and used in the derogatory ways. And they are told things like, You are just like your known good father. Let the truth be told. I am yet to hear a father speak out boldly in a negative way to a child about his or her mother. I'm just being honest. I'm not picking sides. I'm not saying it has not happened. I'm saying I've not heard it or witnessed it. And maybe it is because majority of my clients over the years has been women. I work with men, but I've had majority women. And they are the ones who come to me with all the trauma. And many of them, they don't believe that everything is for a season. And many of them don't look at it and say, well, that man out of my life is indeed a blessing. I can grow from where I am. Many of them hold on to that anger and that hurt. Not only towards the man, but towards the other spouse that he has now. You understand? And I can tell you, I married a man who had a baby mother. And let me tell you something. That lady hate the very ground I walked on. And I had nothing. When I met the man, I didn't even know he had a child. Had 2 children. The first one when he was in the military, and that lady was very respectful towards me. But the other one, she did everything she would do to try to make me miserable and uncomfortable. So much so, she would go to the market talking about me, and my patients would hear her and would come to clinic and tell me. And they would say, nurse, such and such a lady from Granville, I don't know what it is you do to her, but this is what she's saying in the market. Not realizing that those people know me and come back to me. And I had to tell my husband then, I said, hey, you better talk to Carmen because I don't know that lady. I know nothing about her. So you better talk to her. You understand? So I am speaking to you from experience. I have been the recipient of what I'm telling you about. You don't have to know people for them to be casting verbal spells on you with their negative words. Our words shapes our thoughts. Our words mold who we become. Why is it you think it is always recommended, highly recommended, that when we are pregnant, that we begin to speak to the baby in the uterus, play music to the baby, have positive conversation, read books to the baby? It's not ludicrous. It's science, and it tells you that when you read to a baby in the uterus, the baby comes out loving reading. That's why you see some kids, you don't even think they know the alphabet and they're reading. Why? Because they started from in the uterus. All right? So be selective as to the words that you use. Our words shapes our reality. Our words also shapes our influence. Thoughts and actions have power. All right. Number 2, words are considered self-talk. And what they do, they nurture our mindset. So those words you are using, have you ever heard people say, you say, what did you say, Daphne? And you say, oh, not you. I'm talking to myself. Have you ever heard that said? So when you are talking to yourself, be selective as to what are you really saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself? It doesn't matter whether you're saying it loudly or you're mumbling under your breath. Guess what? Our subconscious minds are powerful. And whether we are aware or not, our subconscious is picking it up. So be cautious. What are you saying to yourself during your self-talk moment? It is very important to be able to use words that will enrich your life of mindfulness. Use words that enlighten who you are and enlighten those around you. Use words that will mold, harness, capture your belief system. Use words that will supercharge your energy, because guess what? Every aspect of who we are is encaptured into energy. So, if you have not been watching what you say, this is your time. And I am going to give you an activity. I'm not too much of a gadget person. However, Spirit never tell me to do anything that was wrong. I want you to set your phone on maybe 10 minutes recording when you are just talking, and record what you're saying. Just put it around. If you're talking with the children or somebody, if you're in the kitchen, and record that conversation, and then listen to it and take note, take inventory of those words that you use during those 10 minutes. And ask yourself, were these words empowering or enriching? Or were you surprised when you heard the words and said, oh my God, did that come out my mouth? Don't do it to beat up on yourself, but do it so you can be more aware of what words you're using in your conversation. Yes, Reginald, words are powerful. I'm all confused here. Type all all this in my daughter, not in. What? I'm all confused here. Type all this for my daughter, not for me. I don't know what your issue is. You don't need to be here. If you're not comfortable, you can leave. No one is tied here. Number 3, the impact. Our words also impact our relationships. Okay, give me a minute, guys. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Our words impact our relationships. We need to be very aware how we choose the words that we use. So not only are they impacting ourselves personally, the people we work with, the people we associate with, the words are also impacting our relationships directly or indirectly. And the thing is, I want you to be aware about. Some people will let you know that certain things does not resonate with them. Others will not be bold enough to say one word about it. So you and I have to take the responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect the people around us. For example, that individual on TikTok, if you are not comfortable with the broadcast, you don't need to be here. Everybody has free will. If your spirit does not resonate with my teaching, you can go. But I am not going to allow you to come here with your negativity to cast spells on the people who are here. So for those of you that notice I blocked the person, that was why, because I don't need to be drained of my energy. All right? So now you remember me saying that I was going to answer a question. Just bear with me. If you have your question ready, please go ahead. Put your question in the chat and I'll answer your question. Please go ahead. Go ahead. Just bear with me. Technology is acting up this morning. I'm not sure why. Okay. Anyone has the question? Hey, Alexander, how are you? Good to see you here. Anybody has a question? Renee, are you here? You have a question? All right. Anybody? Reginald, if you have a question, you can type it because I don't see any question coming on TikTok. If you have a question, okay. Do you have a question, Renee? Because you were here from the beginning when I asked. Go ahead. So now I also ask Reginald over on LinkedIn to ask his question. Do you have? Okay, is this your question? Okay. I am always worried, but cannot figure out why. Tell me more about what you mean you're always worried and you can't figure out why. That's her question. Tell me more about that, Renee. Give me a little bit more history about the problem, the question. Come on, time is ticking, Renee. She says she always worried, but she can't figure out why. Renee? Okay, all right. Now, she says she get anxiety. She get an anxiety attack. So, okay, got it. Got it. So now you gave me clarity. So it is for you to work on the anxiety and panic attack. We would need to peel the onion back, Renee, and I'll be able to help you to go back to the source and to see when did this first happen and why it is still happening and what is triggering it from you. So this is not the end of it. You have to find out when did it first happen and why is it still happening for you. All right? So you made the right decision. You know it is not the right thing to do, and you are willing. Are you willing to address it and to solve the problem once and for all? Good. So write my number down, 203-885-5093. And you can text me. I can give you an appointment and we can get into between a 45 and 60 minutes consultation. There is an investment for that, but that's an easy problem. That's what I do every day. That's what I do every day, and I'll be able to work with you on that. And that will be done in the privacy of your home, Renee. But rest assured, you won't have to be struggling with that once you consult and we work it through. All right? So was that helpful? You're welcome. Did you write the number down? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Thank you, Renee, for being the first person to take the hot seat question. All right, so let's continue with the broadcast, the show for today. In this episode, we are talking about the power of our words. And to get to understand that we can cast spells in our lives by the words that we use. All right? Now, we did number 3. We did number 1, number 2, number 3. Now let's do number 4. Number 4 is manifestation and affirmation. Now, after this episode today, and I hope you all subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can go back and watch it, or those of you on Facebook, because I want you to begin to keep track of the words you are using. And I want you to begin to observe in your lives that the words that you are using, you're actually manifesting the words in your life. You know how you keep saying you're broke? You know you keep saying you have more month at the end of your money? I want you to start looking and see that the words you are using, you are manifesting. And I want you to track it, because you are going to be able to turn that around. Instead of manifesting the negative, you are going to begin to affirm the positive. And you are going to be able now to manifest what you are affirming. Listen, it is going to be challenging for you, because for your entire life, you have been saying those things. Some of us grew up in families where we heard these things being said and being used. Now is the time for you to turn this around. The buck stops here. Our parents and our guardians did the best they knew how to do with what they had. So we are not going to be blaming them. We are not going to be blaming them. We are going to work with them, those that are still around. But we are going to work with those that are left. We are going to make sure that we groom and train the people under our care to begin to use empowering language and words. We got to understand that every word that we speak is a declaration over our lives. I am strong. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I believe in me. I am beautiful. I am happy. I am positive. I am highly motivated. I am strong. I am powerful. We got to declare all of the things that we desire in our lives. Yes, I am a woman. You can do better than that, Renee. I am a strong woman. I am a powerful woman. Can you feel the difference, Renee? Not just you're a woman, but what can you put in front of that woman? I want you to say, add something more in front of that woman. Say it and then write it and see the difference in the way you feel. What is it you desire? Is it a spouse? Is it a job? Is it a new car, a new house? What is it you desire? Is it a vacation to Europe? What is it you desire? I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter what your present situation is. We have the ability to speak things into existence. I am a beautiful woman, wonderfully made by God. That's what I'm talking about. Amen and amen. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter what your bank account look like. Your universal bank account has multi-million dollars in it. Speak what you desire. You have a wife. You have a wife that is acting up. Speak to her actions so she can be converted to the wife you desire. You have a husband who is acting up. Speak so you can have the husband you desire. There is power in our words. You don't got to keep running to your priest and to your pastor and to your elder. Oh, elder, can you pray for me husband and me? What happened to your mouth? Why can't you pray for yourself? Those leaders and pastors and rabbis and priests, they got their own issues. And everybody keep running to them, like they think they are superhuman. Who do they have to run to? Sit down and pray for yourselves. Pray for yourselves. You have a mouth. You have a mind, you have a heart, you have a spirit, you have a soul. Tap into all of the gifts that you have. Stop running from your responsibilities. Have you ever asked yourselves, who does my pastor go to? Who does my rabbi turn to? Who does my elder, my deacon go to? Have you ever asked those questions? 350 people in the congregation, and everybody want them to pray for them. I've never heard one person say, Pastor, come let me pray for you. All those years I was in the church, they're always going for prayers, but nobody's rendering prayers for them. Sometimes when they had guest speakers come, thank you. Sometimes when they would have guest speakers come, the guest preachers would bring up the leaders of the church and pray over them. But the normal congregation, they keep taking, and never give back. Our words are just as powerful than those words of the people we are running to. Use your power, use your skills, use your words. And stop running for everybody to pray for you, even on these TikTok streets. Be ye careful. You are going to people to, oh, you can give me a reading, you can do this, you can do that. Use your sense of discernment. You have your own guardian angels and spirit guides and your ancestors, your God, your universe, your source. Tap into it and stop running to everybody live asking them to do readings for you. Listen to your intuition. Hey, Jamel, how you been, girl? Listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut feeling. Follow your sense of discernment. Watch the words you're using. Stop casting negative spells on yourself and your family members because you talk too much, you gossip too much. If you don't have good to say, shut your mouth. If you do not have good to say, shut your mouth. Number 5. Understand that every word that you use has the ability to empower or disempower you, as well as the people around you. You know, in Jamaica, I always hear the elderly people say, Mom is the word. Mom is the word. If you do not have good to say, keep your mouth closed. Because you understand that the words you are using has the ability to grow who you are, grow what you are about. Is that the words can be like wildfire. Have you ever seen how fire explode when there is wind? That's how it is with our words. They are like live fire. You go to the grocery store, you say one little thing, you go in the parking lot, you say one little thing, you go to the laundromat, you say one little thing. Before you know it, you start a whole pandemic about something that you know nothing about. Be cautious. Be ye cautious. Yes, everybody like to say there is a life and death in the power of the tongue. Yes, but you know something? It has become such a cliche because people are saying it because they know it from they go to Sunday school. But the question is, are they applying it to their lives? Are they applying it to their lives? The words that you are using, exactly, the words that you are using, and as you look over your lifetime, the people you associate with at the job, in your family, look around you and you can see the kind of people that you are cultivating. You know something? Our words is like planting a garden. That's right. That's right. That's right. You're right. I don't know if it's a brother or sister. Some talk too much. That's right. Our words are like planting gardens. And when we look around us, we can see the fruit of our labor. The gardens that we are planting, are they filled with thorns, bad weeds? Or they have plants with luscious blooms? We can look on the people we have influence over, and they are depicting our gardens. They are depicting our gardens. What they say, children live what they learn. Yes? I'm chasing after God. Thank you for your interaction. Yes. You have a family, Jamel. I know your father is a pastor. And I know you see a lot of times your family, I don't know. I'm saying a lot of times you see your father probably have issues in the family and he need time to attend to his family. Yet everybody from the church come knocking or calling, Pastor, can you pray for me? And they're not looking to say, Pastor have his wife and children and grandchildren that he need to give some effort to. Who is praying for him? Or who is praying for her? We got to realize that the words we use are molding people. It's like fertilizer in the soil for them. So, what kind of fertilizer are you putting down? Every time I go on a live, I might not be putting down 100 pounds, but if it is 8 ounces of fertilizer I'm putting down, I'm making sure it is high humus compost. That's the richest. If I remember anything about science, humus is the richest soil, right? Okay, Queen. Always a pleasure to see you, my darling. Make sure the fertilizer you are laying down is of the highest quality. Number 6, our words, when used as influence, has the ability not only to impact somebody externally, but also internally. One of my favorite books is Write It Down and Make It Happen. Write it down and make it happen. My first experience with self-talk was when I got my coaching training through the Coaching Institute with Dr. Shad Hemstetter. And he's the first author that I read his book about self-talk. I realized that the words I was using are so important. You know, I got divorced when my son was very young. I think Javante was 8 or 9. And I never disclosed to my son anything that I was unhappy about with his father. Never. And let me tell you something. One weekend, my son went to visit his uncle and auntie, his father's brothers. That's what I'm doing now. The influence of our words, whether internal or external, Renee. And he know that we divorced. I never told him why. I didn't say nothing about that. Well, let me tell you something. That little boy came back. And he has a whole big container of all the things that his uncle and auntie-in-law told him about his father. And he said, Mommy, I want to talk to you. I said, yeah, about what? He said, about my father. How didn't you tell me da, 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 da? And he went down his list. And I said, you know, whatever happened between your father and I really has nothing to do with you. So I didn't have any reason to mention those things. How did you know those things? And he said, Uncle Leslie told me and Auntie Olive. And I said, it's better them than me. It's better them than me. And until this day, I did not affirm nor deny any of the things that they ask him, because I'm saying he's not going to be a child all his life. He's going to grow up into a man. Now my son is 40, what? He's 40 something years old. He's going to be knocking me, not physically, it's word speaking, but let me cancel that. He's going to be very unhappy with me for saying his age on social media. He's not into social media like me, so he might not even hear this. And I recall years ago, I was told by a family member that he was speaking with his father on the telephone. And his father was blaming me for divorcing him. And I was so proud of my son. I heard that my son said to him, guess what? She's the only mother and father that I have known. And I am going going to end this call now because I'm not going to listen to you badmouth my mother. And I said, good for him. Good for him. And when I got wind of that, I said to him, I heard you talk to your father. He said, Mommy, I don't want to talk about it. I said, good enough. And we left that alone. We left that alone. So as parents and as guardians, it is our responsibility. It is our responsibility to support our children during these times, knowing that if there's a separation, that is damaging enough for them. We do not need to add anything else about our anger and our disappointment in the spouses, because it is influencing them internally and externally. It has great impact on them. Many of them takes it into their relationships. Because what? They are not addressing the traumas. So every time something happened in their life, they see what happened in their mothers and fathers' relationships. So we have work to do. And if you're listening to this episode and you have any unresolved trauma in your life, that's what I do every day, 365 days a year. That's what I help my clients with. If you have any kind of unresolved issues, that's what I do, 365 days a year for my clients. I want you to reach out. I'm not doing it on open ear here on any of these platforms. I meet with you in the privacy of your home. I want you to reach out, invest in yourself, heal yourself from all of this trauma, because you're not only doing it for yourselves, you are doing it for your children. Somebody say, Lord, I repent. Listen, we have all been there. We have all been there. And repentance is good. And it is needed. But you need to take the responsibility of digging deep, where you can go inside and flush it up. Listen, why you think God give people like myself the ability to be worthwhile practitioners that can help you with this problem? Every one of us deserve to be healed from our traumas. Every one of us. And we got to use a sense of discernment so we can know who the right people are. Who are the right people that can help us to heal from these issues and these traumas? Knowledge is power. You're right about that. You're right about that. Let me tell you all something. Some of you who are here this morning are probably new. Let me tell you something. I ran for 62 years from what I was chosen to do. And even when I was doing it hush hush, people are still getting results. When I eventually say yes after getting my stroke and was in the hospital, I called my cousin and to tell her that, oh, cuz I got something to tell you. And she said, yes, what? I tell her, you say, you know something? I'm going to be going more in spiritual work and everything. I just want to share that with you. And she said to me, you don't have to share that with me because I already know. I said, what do you mean you already know? She said, cuz you realize for your entire life, when anybody asks you a question, you never answer it ordinary. You always go deep. Why you think I always come to you when I have a problem? Because I know you have insight that you're giving. For her entire life, she never said anything to me about that. So I am so honored and privileged for where the universe has me now, for the ability that God has given me to be able to help my clients all over the world. I have served people where I don't speak their language and they need translators to tell me what they are saying and vice versa. And I still help them. Why are you sitting on your issues? And why are you suffering? Because you're too stingy to invest in yourself. Yes, Spirit had me say that. Many of you running from life to life and oh, give me a reading, do this. Listen, I'm not here to damage anybody hustle. But you all got to use a sense of discernment and use your intuition and know who is the real McCoy. Who is the real McCoy? Who is speaking wisdom? What are you feeling when the words leave my mouth and hit you? What are you feeling? Why are you sitting and crying when you listen to my videos? Is it that they resonate with your spirit? Now is your time. You do not have to go into 2024 with all of the trauma that is holding you back, all of the depression, all of the hurt, all of that mess. You do not have to take it into the new year with you because this is your time. You deserve healing. You were not sent here this morning or whenever you're going to be listening to this recording. You were not sent here by accident. You were divinely guided to listen to me. I'm open for business. I'm here to serve you. Let me say that again. I am open for business. I am here to serve you and help you. Stop running to the Obia man. Stop running to all of the other people that you're running to. And you're spending your money for how much years? And you ain't getting no result. Your heart and your spirit is telling you that that is not the direction for you, but yet you're still doing it. Again, I ain't hitting nobody hustle. But I'm just saying what the Spirit download to me. I'm just saying it. All right? I'm just saying it. I'm not going to sit here and be humble and be quiet anymore. and allow you all to continue going down the rabbit trail? Why am I going to allow you to keep drowning yourself when I know I have a lifeline to throw you to get you back in? Number 7, and it's the last one. Use words that will enhance your self-awareness. You can get these words through reading, listening to positive DVDs. I know some of you be saying when you sit with a book to read, you're falling asleep. Buy one that is an audio that you can pop it in the player. And there's some that everybody have smartphones. You can read it on the smartphone. And listen, protect yourself. Put up an invisible glass shield so that when you get around people that are naysayers, they will no longer be able to rob you of your energy, because they have been depleting you for years. You got to protect you. All right? You got to protect you. So quickly, let me just summarize and jot down. The first one was the power of our words. Second was positive self-talk and mindset words. The third one was the impact words have on our relationship. Number 4, we need to use words that will support manifestation and affirmation in a positive way. Number 5 was the role of words and in the languages that we use. Listen to me. Many of you, I have never heard so many profanities coming out people's mouths. I look around and I say, my God, what is happening? Thank you for reaching. Let me know when you will be live again. Do follow and set your notification. Follow and set your notification. I have my link tree there where you can book appointment, and you have your notification on. It will tell you when I am live. Number 5, or I just did number 5. Number 6, the influence of our words both internally and externally. And number 7, use words that is enhancing to our self-awareness. All right? Again, I'm Dr. Daphne Clarke-Hudson. I am a coach educator. I provide information and education for my supporters so that they can tap into their soul purpose. Remember what I shared. Each and every one of us were chosen. Remember, it was not the fastest sperm that got to the egg. It was the egg that selected, invited a specific sperm that made you and I. So we were chosen. We were selected. And it makes me excited to hear that. Listen, tap in, follow, go to daphneclarke.com. Thank you for a great topic. May God continue to bless and keep it. Thank you. Go to daphneclarke.com. Check out Linktree /Dynamic Daphne. But those of you on TikTok, click on my name and you can see all of the information there. Listen, you want to find out more about me? I want you to text me at 203 885-5093. Text me, give me your phone number and your email address, and I will reach out to you and tell you how you can talk to me on the phone. You can privately let me know what's happening with you, and then we can go from there. Listen, love you, and guess what? Absolutely nothing you can do about that. So stay the course, and I will see you on my next broadcast. Bye. Love you guys. Bye bye. Thank you, Mona.